7,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everyone. You know, I've been kind of thinking I was running out of videos to make for milestones. All my best ideas have been covered already except for What's the Best Grimlock, who has been my 10K subscriber special since before I ever started YouTube. I'm not kidding, the concept of What's the Best was invented for Grimlock years before my channel ever began, and I still haven't done it yet because that's saved for a special occasion. So hurry up and share these videos so we can get there already. But anyways, yeah, I've been running out of ideas. But a little while back, I did manage to think up one last good idea for my 7K special. Something to help you all in something I often get asked about. Normally, I like to be on camera for one of these and unscripted. I feel like there's usually more connection there. But this time, it's important to do this one scripted, because I want to give you the best information on this subject as possible. And trying to keep all this straight in my head is going to be impossible. Because this time, I wanted to give back to you all. So many of you want to be YouTubers like I too am trying to be, and you want to know how to do it. So here, I am going to give you every bit of insight I can on how to do this thing we all love doing and how to be successful at it. You may think it's a bit presumptuous of someone with only 7,000 subscribers to try and tell anyone else how to be a YouTuber, and to a degree, you are right. But it does mean that I at least know something about what I am saying, and honestly, I don't really know what would change so much about what I do between here and, say, 100K. So the information now is probably as good as it's ever going to be. Obviously, my main area of expertise is in my particular field of figure reviews, but a lot of this is applicable to a wide field of videos, and I do know at least a bit more than just what I've settled on making. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all how to become good at the YouTubes. First and foremost, the most disappointing aspect of all, the most vital and important hurdle to clear of all in becoming a YouTuber is luck. I know it sucks to hear. It sucks to say. And it can be hard to accept that success depends on luck. But the fact of the matter is that you could make the best videos any human has ever made, and if you don't get lucky and have the algorithm spread that around, for any of the myriad reasons it might, no one will ever see them. You won't even get one view without the algorithm putting that video in front of people's eyes. I know my first 4 videos didn't really get any. In the first month of my channel with 4 videos I put a collective 100-something odd hours into making, I got maybe 18 views that weren't me or my brother. If I didn't accidentally make that collective hate sink for so many people, Earthrise a bad toy line, which still has more dislikes than likes to this very day, I probably still wouldn't even have 100 subscribers. Because that got shared around, it got the algorithm to pick up that my channel was something people were paying attention to. Negative attention is still good attention as far as YouTube is concerned. So no matter how good what you make is, you need luck to be found. And there really don't seem to be any shortcuts to this. I tried doing stuff like promoting my work on other websites, and that didn't help me at all. And a lot of people really hope that a shout out from a larger creator will give them the boost that they need. But unfortunately, only a fraction of the viewership will ever bother checking out the thing that they are being sent to, no matter how big the YouTuber is. As much as I love giving you all shout outs, I can't say that it's ever moved the needle much for any of you. It gets people like 6 subscribers typically, and never any more anytime after that. But once you get eyes on your stuff, once the algorithm has woken up to you, that's when this video really comes into play. That's when you need the content to keep people around. And the first step in that is having content to keep people around. I did not make a mistake by repeating that line twice. What I'm saying is that people want you to have a backlog. Hopefully a backlog as good as what they just saw. People want to click on your channel and see that you have 30 videos just like what they just watched so they can keep enjoying what you're doing. So that's kind of funny in that step 2 is kind of almost step 10. Now we've established that you need luck and you need a backlog. It's honestly kind of a miracle that I got anywhere with only 6 videos when I started. So let's focus on making that backlog. What makes a video people want to watch? The most important part of all is that for people to really want to stick around, the video must feel professional and the viewer must feel your passion. No one wants to sit down and watch a bunch of videos riddled with errors and technical issues by a person who's just talking without passion or insight. People will actually tolerate a difference of opinion that's the polar opposite of what they feel, so long as the person disagreeing with them has conviction and passion and can make that interesting. So the first step in being professional is going to cost a little bit of money. You want professional sounding audio quality. For some reason, people can put up with bad visuals to a remarkable degree. Bad audio, however, is the fastest way to get someone to jump off what you make. If they click that thumbnail and the first thing they hear is, "Hey, it's your boy, Skinny Penis," they will be gone before you ever knew they were there. Some cameras have great audio capture, but microphones are often very situation dependent. A mic that sounds great pressed up against your mouth probably won't sound good picking up anyone else who's talking. If what you are doing involves interacting with other people, or if you are trying to record something that's not pressed directly up against your face, you have a problem in that scenario. And your Xbox Live microphone is not a good substitute for a real one. Those things are actually kind of remarkably terrible for how much they get used. And then there's the problem with transitioning audio. Let's say you are doing reviews like me, and you are using the audio capture on your camera to get the audio for the video because your camera is remarkably good at doing that. Well, then there are several things you need to consider. 1. You want to make sure that you always record the audio at the same time. At different times of day, or during different days, the air temperature and barometric pressure can change. You also have to contend with the fact that you may not be standing in the exact same place in comparison with your microphone every single time you come back to record a different line. This will alter the way you sound on your microphone, so you will have sudden, shocking shifts between takes. Does that make it unlistenable? No. Does it make it professional? Also no. 2, you want to remember that if you are recording the figure, the camera will be pointing at the figure. And then if you have reaction shots of yourself, the camera will be pointing at you. The reason that I bring this up is that if the camera is pointing at the figure, then the microphone is pointing away from you. And if the camera is pointing at you, then the microphone is pointing at you. This will change how you sound on audio. If you do voiceover like me, you could just ensure that when you record the audio, you leave the camera pointing in the direction you captured all the other audio from if you are using the camera for that. But what works best is to simply have a standalone real microphone of good quality, and that's not as daunting as you might think. The microphone I have always used only cost $40. And if you notice that my audio quality is better than it used to be, that's just because I changed my setup so the microphone is closer to me now. There are many great budget microphones out there. Honestly, unless you are trying to make music, you probably don't need one that's even $70. If you just want to copy what works for me, what I use is the Blue Snowball Black Ice microphone. You don't need that one to succeed, it's just that in my experience, they make a great microphone for a cheap price. Though this is one that prefers to be up close and personal with your face. But it can do a semblance of room audio at least. It doesn't sound great, but it's not bad to the point where it will make people flee in terror. Next up, so you spent your $40 on a microphone that sounds good. Now you need to start talking into it in a way that will make people want to hear what you have to say. And this advice is going to be extremely important. Script your videos. It can't work for every type of video people could possibly make, but script them. This is a constant pitfall of people in the Transformers community, but I assume pretty much everywhere else as well. People want to hold up a figure in front of the camera and just talk about it because that seems like it will be easy and fun. And of course you're going to remember all of the most interesting things you were going to say. Why would you forget? Well, I'm here to tell you that you are going to forget. You are going to forget everything you wanted to say the second you press that record button. And you are never going to keep the most interesting version of what you were going to say straight in your head by trying to remember it off the cuff. Believe me, scripting is shockingly vital. People always tell me that I make the most interesting and valuable news reaction videos. And that's because unlike most other creators, mine are scripted. I look at the Transformers news, I think about it, mull it over, and then I sit down and write out the most interesting things I have to say about them in the most interesting way I can manage. Is it boring? Yes. Do you want to do it? No. It adds extra time to making the video. Why would you? But the simple fact of the matter is that by writing down what you have to say, you won't be forgetting all of the most important stuff you wanted to bring up, and you won't be forgetting the way you phrased it. Plus, you will be able to control the language you use. Do you want to watch a video where someone says, "This is the new Optimus Prime, and he's pretty cool. He's got some cool proportions, and his legs are really anime, and I like that. It's cool. He's also got a really cool gun, it's painted black, and it's got this cool folding feature." Or do you want to watch a video where someone says, "So this is the new Optimus Prime, and I gotta say, he's pretty sick. The proportions on this guy rock, and he looks like he was ripped directly out of an anime with legs taller than a tower. Comes with this vicious gun, too. It folds away for some slick storage so he can quick draw any idiots who think they are bad enough to take down this mighty Autobot leader." You might think that the first bit was something of an exaggeration, but I have seen tons of videos where that verbatim could have been what was said because people just can't think of any synonyms. Which brings me to another point. When you are writing the script, keep a page open on thesaurus.com. The English language thrives on synonyms. So try to never use the same word 2 sentences in a row. I still do it even scripted, and every time it happens, I feel like a fool. Next up, redrafts. When you are done with your script, read through it, and anything that doesn't hold your attention like it should, rip it out or rewrite it so it's interesting. Don't have any dull moments. If it's not necessary, then it doesn't need to be there. So scripting is a free way to make your videos instantly higher quality. Of course, if you are doing stuff like Let's Plays or unboxings, you can't exactly script those. But if you are making content where you could script, do it. Next, this goes for basically anything, but I'm mostly going to talk about it in the context of reviewing. If you are reviewing something, the space that you are reviewing it in must look like it exists only for doing reviews, and it must be clean. Don't just do it on your desk next to your monitor. Don't just do it on your kitchen table where you can see some coasters in the background. Don't do it on your dusty shelves where there is one corner on the left side and then the right stretches off into infinity. Create a purposeful spot for them to be. You can do it like I did and just buy a light box. They are all over Amazon for various prices, though that once again costs money. Or you can construct a light box out of $2 worth of cardstock you bought at Walmart. Or a box that one of your figures got shipped to you in that you filled with a clean white sheet for zero investment whatsoever. Just make sure it looks professional and it looks clean. Dust it every time you do a video. Every single time. A dirty workspace does not look like it's being used by someone who knows what they're doing. If you are doing stuff where you are on camera, you either want to be in a barren area or create a nerd space. Take your collection, display it behind you, light it, and for the love of God, don't just be sitting there in your computer chair in the center of your room with a burnt-out old computer tower just rotting away in the corner. Then you want to light it. Don't just use the lights you have in your room. If it's a light box, flood that fucker. Melt the figure with light like it's on the surface of the sun. A quick and dirty way to do that is a ring light. You can get those for like $18, you shoot through the center of it, your figure will be adequately lit, though I like to have even more light, which is why I use a light box. But a ring light will also work great for shooting videos of yourself. Or you could get some studio lights. Do not let there be light from just the left or right side of anything. That looks terrible. You want an even light unless you are really good and know what you're doing and how to use shadows to your advantage. At which point, you don't even need my advice. But for most of you, shadows shouldn't exist. Next up, stability. You want a good, heavy tripod. You can buy a cheap one and weigh it down, or you can buy an expensive one, and you don't want to go for the fancy lightweight option for ease of carry. You want that thing to weigh as much as possible, so when you touch your camera, the whole thing doesn't vibrate like it's in an earthquake. Next, people often ask me what editing software I use, and I always tell them it doesn't matter. Whatever you can get actual teaching to use is what will work best for you. If in high school or college there are video editing classes in a program you've never heard of, then take them. Though not before asking about it. You don't want to accidentally end up taking After Effects when that's basically useless for cutting or laying out videos, or something that you can't get a hold of for your normal use. If you know of the program already, that's even better, but take whatever class you can. Or if you have one of those online subscriptions to those learning services, then take an editing class there. Or you can just use the site we are already all on and just watch tutorials. As passionate as we are about Transformers, there are people equally passionate out there about making tutorials on how to use the editing softwares you need. But the point is, use what you can be taught. Oh, and very important, but very minor, always upload on the exact same days and times. Even if it's 7 times a week, once a month, once every 3, always upload on the same day at the same time. That way, if YouTube forgets to tell people about your videos, your fans will recognize when the video is supposed to be there and just go looking for it themselves. And lastly, your community is everything. Any success you have is not yours alone. A bird can't fly without the air, and your community is the wind beneath your wings. Appreciate them. Without them, you are nothing, and with them, they can carry you places you never dreamed you could go. They will share your videos, they will bring new fans into the fold, they will support you in so many ways. And remember, everything you are doing to make them happy, because making other people happy is the best feeling in the world. So, make sure that they know just how important they are. Make sure that if you are able, you respond. My comments have become so hard to keep up with. Every day I get further and further behind on them, and it makes me feel guilty, because I would respond to every last person if I had the time. So make your community feel as important as they are. Show them patience when they are angry. Show them you care. You'd be amazed at how quickly a sour comment section turns pleasant if you do. And just remember that any comment is a good comment as far as YouTube is concerned. Even if they hate you, it's good for you, and thumbs down are just as helpful as thumbs up. If they tell you to go die, try to get them to give you directions to all the cliffs you can jump off of. It only makes you more powerful. And always be friendly, no matter what. Remember, people who hate you might be people you can entertain if you just show them you're cool. All my greatest victories are converting haters into people who enjoy my videos. Everyone wins. They get to have fun watching my stuff, and I get to make them happy. And you can too. I hope this video can help even one of you reach for your dreams. Thank you so much for 7,000. This has been the most rewarding, fulfilling experience of my life. You guys give me purpose, and I will never be able to thank every last one of you enough. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know you know what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.